All right, looks like we are live over here, and uh, the sound should also be coming in. All right, so there it is. Okay, looking good. Right, hello and welcome. This is IDRL SAH Season 3, Episode number 8, BBG versus TRV. It's the 3rd of April, and we are streaming straight to you live via IDRL YouTube. If you go to IDRL YouTube on YouTube, and if you have subscribed, you should have automatically got the notification and so for now, today, we'll be streaming to YouTube itself. From the next week, we'll be streaming to all platforms again because of a minor glitch. But let's get going with this stream out here. We have an all new track as usual, an exceptionally sort of a mid difficult one for the pilots of this class. Pro pilots competing today from each side, BBG and TRV. Let's call out and shout out their names. So the pilots who have joined in are Devi Web, Ion FPV, and Crude from TRV, and Anand 25 milliwatts and Gremlin from team BBG. So it's a Team Rotor FPV versus the Bombay Brigadiers for those who are not familiar with the acronyms. Now, we will be, of course, doing those 10 rounds as we usually do from rounds 1 to 10, and we'll be taking a mid break at round number 5. And just before that, round number 4, and before that, those rounds are going to be extremely critical to set the pace for the rest of the rounds following round number 5. Round number 10 is going to have 5 points for the first place and 3 points for the second place. So it's all grabs at 8 points in the last and the final round. It's going to be a close one, we anticipate, and these teams have are really high performing ones. We anticipate a very, very close battle right till the tail end. So remain with us as we bring to you this fantastic broadcast tonight, and we get started with the races. Tonight, TRV is in team red, and the rest, BBG, is in team green. All right, folks. So pilots, please get ready on the podium because we're going to start the race. Round number 1, starting in less than 5. Let's straight tune into some of the top pilots out here. All of them are top pilots. Let's see who has picked up the podium. It is Devi Webb right now, so we are following up with the leader out here. Close to him is Ion FPV. Look at that water body out there. A fast moving track under that rocky tunnel out there. And there are also some very good guidelines out there as to how the pilots have to traverse this track. So although it may look a little confusing from the standpoint of the viewer, for the pilot, it is a little bit easier because those white lines that you see, they tell the pilots exactly how the track is supposed to be done. So right now, Devi Webb so far in the lead. We are going with him in the first person view. We can see this from a little bit different perspective. Ion FPV is his comrade out there at position number 2. Gremlin has stepped in, and Gremlin is taking the charge out here now. Gremlin has suddenly pushed to spot number 1, straight away coming from the back out here. Again, that beautiful, gorgeous water body. That's the treat out here on this track. It feels like an absolute desert wonderland out here, and those high-rise gates. Right up at the top, there is a recharge gate as well. So if you have a cord that's damaged, you can recharge right at the top of the gate at the expense of another turn at the top of that Jacob's ladder. For now, these are those other elements that Gremlin is doing, but Gremlin is overtaken by Ion right now because Ion is just in front of him. It's about a gate or two of difference between these two pilots. Look at that, very, very close warfare sort of going on between Ion and Gremlin as Gremlin tries to touch the tail of Ion out here. And Gremlin needs to really pick up a little bit of force out here. Looks like he's stuck on gate number 16 and might be falling away. Oh my God, Gremlin is falling away. So looks like he might be just out of this round. For now, it's Ion FPV reclaiming his position, having its cool and calm composure on the track. Absolutely no issues with Ion FPV out there as he completes the track, and the vice captain Dev FPV coming in here as well, supporting his frontline member Anand from team BBG, who is playing the captain, I believe, for BBG, is the first to finish. 25 milliwatts has also finished. Gremlin lost way, and Crude is the captain from TRB. He's going to captain TRB today, and he is going to also probably finish the fifth out here as Gremlin is stuck at gate number 16. So those are the scorings, and let's see the competition that's on play right now. Devi Webb versus Anand. Devi Webb wins out there, and then we have Ion, of course, takes that win. And then Crude against Gremlin, and again Crude takes that win. Gremlin was ahead in the front, but right now it's 3 is to 0, it looks like. So it's TRB leading 3 points to 0. A slightly bad start for Team BBG, but they'll be quick to recover on that next round, I believe. So round number 2, pilots, let's get going at the count of. Hold on, just 1 minute. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, what happened? Okay, he's disconnected. All right. Okay, so Gremlin, you have 2 minutes to please rejoin the server. Your 2 minutes start right now. 9:58 it is. And as usual for the viewers, we have a 2 minute timer for the pilots who get disconnected for some reason from the server. They have 2 minutes to join back. Let's see number of folks who are joining in. Preet Patel says hi, and Kushang also says all the best out here. So looks like Kushang is supporting BBG at the moment. But again, these are fantastic teams, both of them. So we'll be in for the treat anyway. Whichever team you pick really doesn't matter out here. So let's go pilots now. It looks like everybody is set in flying mode at the count of less than 5. Let's get going now with straight off the podium into Ion FPV's feed out here. Gremlin is the first one to always pick up, but then he has fallen into spot number 3. Let's look at this from a third-person perspective. A very, very close game going on out here between some of these top-class pilots. Gremlin, look at that. He's bifurcating Dev FPV and Ion with his red ray tracing out there. And Ion FPV, again, Ion FPV and Gremlin, that's the battle to look out for, looks like. That was exactly what they were shooting for in round number 1. And again, a different perspective to get a closer look on these pilots. Let's stay close to them so that we know exactly where they are. That's Gremlin in front of you, the frontline pilot of all the pilots right now. And right behind him is a Devi Webb as a Gremlin takes us through that rocky tunnel once again. It would be interesting to spot the view from the first person perspective of Gremlin. That's how he's doing that Jacob's ladder. Keep in mind, those joysticks are very, very useful once again for any beginners out there who might be interested in learning how folks like Gremlin actually control their quad. Superb control displayed by Gremlin, but Gremlin has fallen back into spot number 3 for the time being. Ion FPV is leading on the front lines out here. Ion FPV is looking absolutely gorgeous in the Mojave Desert. on an island on a far distant planet, a different kind of water body. You can see explicit track out here. Wonderful track, an absolute thrill. The many gates and the different elements that are lined up here. And Ion is just showcasing the perfect way to traverse these elements. Look at that. And those white spotted trace lines also showing us how the pilot has to do those elements. And welcome viewers, once again, those who are just joining us on YouTube. We are into round number 2 of BBG versus TRV. This is the quarterfinal number 2, and the winner from this will be playing for the semi-final draw against Team HHR. We already have the first semi-final lined up between ZDR and KKR, and this race is going to be very, very important for these two teams. So let's take a look. Right now, TRV is in a dominating position with the Ion right in the front line, giving them a head point lead against Gremlin. And Devi Webb also doing fantastic. All these pilots in a top shape out here. 25 milliwatts, whether or not he'll be completing is sort of immaterial at this point, but it's going to be well beyond 3 minutes. So let's take the role. Ion FPV. Okay, let's take a look at Devi Webb versus Anand. Devi Webb has won against out there. Ion FPV against 25 milliwatts. Ion FPV has won again out there. And Crude against Gremlin. Gremlin has won this time. So Gremlin is performing quite well. That lead reduces a little bit. Instead of 6-0, we now have 5 points to 1 in favor of Team TRV. All right, round number 3, pilots. Let's get going at the count of less than 5. Let's try to zoom in from a slightly different perspective. You can see those pilots, Ion FPV, a little bit behind to take off right now. Right ahead is Gremlin, and already beautiful views coming in from Gremlin's feed out here. Anand, let's switch into Anand where he is. He's just behind Crude at the moment. Crude really picking up speed out here, coming in between, and there's a close competition between all these pilots. All these pilots are doing tremendously well out there. A beautiful control. Devi Webb just recharged his quad quickly out there before proceeding with the rest of the track. And the quads get damaged, keep in mind out here, so you do have to do that occasional refilling. For now, Anand is showing us the way. He is leading as the captain for a team BBG right now, and he is showing us the way. But he has been toppled over by the might of Crude FPV right now and Ion FPV. The force is a little bit too strong right now to handle for Team BBG at the moment. But all that's required right now is a bit of focus on concentration on part of the Team BBG. All the front line, 1, 2, 3 taken up by Ion, Crude, and Devi Webb. Let's take a third-person perspective. You can see the point difference and the gate difference between these pilots. It's all red dashes, and moving up in front of your screen right now, that's Ion that we are chasing. And if we just follow Crude behind him, we can get a sense of Crude as well. And finally, we have Devi Webb, who is chasing them as well. Right now, 4th, 5th, and 6th positions are all going down to Team BBG. So they really need to pick up that speed and put up their 5th gear accelerator, because they have to do it now. Otherwise, it's going to become a little bit too challenging later on down the next few rounds. Not that it's going to be impossible or anything, because this is again anybody's game today, but the team that controls the first 5 rounds is going to be in a far better position. So Crude FPV, Devi Webb, Anand, 25 milliwatts, and Gremlin, that's the lineup so far. all the three pilots from TRV taking away those points. So it's an absolute no-brainer for us to mark these pilots as a 1-1-1 and 3 points straight away for Team TRV. Without any further ado, pilots, let's get going with round number 4. 8 points for TRV and 1 point for BVG at the count of less than 5. Stay focused on Anand for the time being, leading from the front. He's shouldering some responsibility as he takes on those red trails from behind. Only Gremlin is between one of those other pilots out there of Team TRB. Gremlin is a really fast pilot out there, and superb skill once again. Superb. Definitely doing everything in his capacity, and he's chasing the tail of Ion. Again, Ion versus Gremlin has been the battle of the track so far. It's an absolute treat to see this pilots and Gremlin coming in from behind right now. Gremlin taking the charge, full front up, and Gremlin it is, but again toppled over by Ion. Gremlin keeps making those mistakes. He has been crashing up on some of those critical gates when he has to balance it away, but not too far as well. Anand, meanwhile, is going well. He's chasing the tail of Ion right now, and he's putting up an extremely good fight out here. If you see a tail in front of Anand, that's going to be only the tail of Ion FPV. Look at that. Anand crisply following the tail of Ion right now. And from a third person perspective, both these are neck and neck right now, exactly at the same element out there. Let's twist around the track a little bit and see what we can get as a different perspective. Anand out there showing us around the track, but it is still Ion FPV. While Crude FPV, if we look at his feed, you can see the tail of Anand. Crude FPV is at spot number 3 at the moment. So Crude FPV, as he had done in the previous round, will be looking to overtake Anand and join his comrade Ion FPV out there. So the sooner he does that, it's going to be better for Team TRV, but he might have really kept it in for a surprise for us. Right now, Anand looks in good control. Crude FPV slowing down a little bit, making a few mistakes out there, allowing Anand to propel away along the track out here. Ion FPV once again taking absolutely no pressure because he's already completing the track. Anand and the rest of the folks. Devi Webb has come back from absolutely nowhere out here. It was Crude, but Devi Webb really climbed in from behind. Look at that. And Anand in spot number 3 with the rest of the 2 pilots. We will just kind of in FPV view. A little kind of disappointing for Gremlin once again. He lands up in position number 5th when he was in sitting quite comfortably at position number 2. So let's see the draw out here. Devi Webb versus Anand. Devi Webb has won once again. Then we see Ion FPV, of course, has won, and then I believe Crude against Gremlin. Crude has won as well. Very close spots, 4th and 5th positions for Crude and Gremlin. So it's a 10-point difference now. TRV is taking away the lead out here. Only 1 point they managed to lose from the side of Crude on round number 2, where Gremlin won, but rest of the points, it's been a clean sweep for the 3 pilots from TRV. So before round number 5 and we get into intermission, let's quickly give a few seconds of break time so that BBG and TRV both can warm up for important round number 5. And till then, let's wait a little bit, and in the next 10 seconds we'll be up on the podium once again. All right, pilots, so it's time for round number 5 before break time, and let's get going at the count of less than 5. This time a Gremlin. If we can really tune into Gremlin, it would be awesome to see where Gremlin is. Gremlin is at position number 2, chasing Devi Webb right now. Devi Webb is leading from the front, and he has captained TRV before. Right now, he is playing the vice cap with the crude FPV, but Devi Webb again leading from the front as an exemplar pilot from Team TRV. Ion FPV quickly tries to make up with Devi Webb, and switching a few angles out here for the interest of the viewers. You can see the track from different perspectives. Um, let's see where Ion is right now. There you go, Ion, right in front of you, rotating around that coconut tree into the yellow tunnel, around the gate, into the water body, into the rocky tunnel, and following the tail of his vice cap Devi Webb. So Ion doing pretty well, and he's respecting the talent of the rest of his teammates. Right now, let's see where we can focus our attention on. It's obviously Devi Webb is far away into the front. Looks like round number 5 has worked out pretty well for Devi Webb. He has just one more lap to go, unless he makes a few mistakes out there, and maybe Anand could come back from behind. Anand is at spot number 3 right now, but it may be a little bit too far away, as there is almost a 10 to 14 gate difference between the nearest competitor from team BBG. Gremlin might have to really accelerate out here. That's what we are seeing him doing. He can be dangerous if he really gets his attention drilled in. That's what we are seeing right now. Gremlin at gate number 18, but again, he manages to really do that from behind. Let's see if we can get a hang of Ion FPV right now. It's a little too far away right now, I would say. Gremlin falls back into position number 4. So Ion and Devi Webb have, of course, won, but it's probably a Crude and Gremlin. So it's the competition between Crude and Gremlin is what we have to watch out for. That's what is important at the moment, because that's going to either give TRV, but Gremlin has managed to stick on out here. So definitely Gremlin picks up that crucial 1 point, while Devi Webb and Ion pick up their individual 1 points each. So that replicates round number 2. And that gives us a scoring of 13 points to 2 points in the favor of Team TRV. All right, so that's intermission time. We'll be taking a break for about a couple minutes, folks. You can go and get your soda, Pepsis, Limcas, whatever you want, and keep going, because it's going to be a fantastic night. The rest of the races, anything can happen within these 2 minutes. Pilots really come out of their grave, so to speak, and they can be fully recharged, and the game can be toppled over in absolutely no time. And remember, round number 10 is a big one, 8 points, so that can go anybody's way out there. So about a minute and 30 seconds of break time remaining out here. Till then, let's check in with our audience and welcome them once again. Abhishek, Praveen Kumar, welcome. That's, I believe, Napster out there, and Dinesh Kumar, also welcome once again. Do spread the word out to your friends and families out there, folks, and share the link. Share the link on your social media, so that people can also join in this fantastic broadcast that we are bringing for IDRL SAH Drone Racing Championship for season number 3. It's BBG versus TRV head to head in quarterfinal number 2 right now. All right, so okay, so the last 20 seconds coming in, pilots. Let's get ready for your encounter post the intermission time. Let's get ready on the podium.
Hello, Karan.
Yeah, is somebody
Yeah, Karan,
disconnected?
the scoreboard on the live stream is not right. It's from the previous match.
Oh, okay, hold on. All right, so I'll correct that. Just 1 minute. All right. So we have been just updated that the scoreboard was not reflected. Yeah, it's from the previous match. So let's update this and you can see now the correct scorecard. So thank you for informing us about that update. We'll be locking that scorecard so that it does not fluctuate. That's the correct one. You can see 13 points is to 2 points. Let's get back on the game. Scenes are looking in high gear out here. Pilots must be refreshed, and we are refreshed as well. So are the spectators. Everybody, let's check out their scene. If everybody, no, somebody is disconnected. Okay, 2 minutes, pilot. 2 minutes to come back in, Gremlin. 2 minutes. Your timer has started right now. Be waiting for Gremlin right now. We have to get going, pilots, quickly. So wherever Gremlin is, give him a shout out. There you are. And please stay connected for the rest of the match out here. Everybody's flying now. And let's get going, pilots, at the count of less than 5. Important rounds coming in, and there'll be ample support for each side out here as Ion FPV coming in, picking up out there. Gremlin was for a moment in the charge, but right now it's Devi Web. Devi Web all the way, taking it as the previous round that he had dominated, and Ion FPV also following down his chase. Look at that, Gremlin at position number 3. Gremlin must be really looking it to stick up at the tail of Ion FPV and eventually pull over him, because he's looking at that top spot position, and that will also give him good practice for round number 8. That's going to be a promising one if those two position points 5 and 3 have to be computed in favor of team BBG. But right now it's all play with Ion FPV and Devi Webb. These two pilots seem to be never ending on this track. Absolutely in pitch perfection. Again, a Devi Web we are seeing right now on the FPV screen. The boys and girls from our team of Vello, team Rotor FPV, they must be really happy seeing their team doing pretty well out here in the quarterfinal against team BBG. And it's really an elevated position for this team right now. But keep in mind that Gremlin and his boys and Anand and his boys are going to be really fierce down the line out here for the next few rounds. So again, Gremlin are doing as much as he can to propel himself in the fifth and the 10th gear out here, so to speak, because he's right beyond behind Ion right now. Ion right in front of there. Look at that. The tail in front, what we are seeing of red color is that of Ion. We are tuning in through the eyes of Gremlin right now. Absolutely. That distance, if we can see the tail of that pilot, that means that these pilots are really close, and they are exactly at the same gate. Gremlin just one gate behind. I think he had a little bit of a crash. Not sure what happened. We couldn't pick up the exact position, but he is just one gate away, and also making up for that recovering of his quad as well. But Devi Webb, what a speed. Devi Webb is setting new records out here, while Ion FPV consistently switching himself at position number 2 and 1. While Gremlin looks like this time he should be having good luck at completing in a very decent position at spot number 3. So Gremlin and Crude, Gremlin is definitely making it count for team BBG, and they just have to pick up these 2 points and 3 points. 1 point is not going to do any good for team BBG now. They have to go for the big one. So all these 3 pilots, Anand, 25 milliwatts, and Gremlin, they have to absolutely accelerate at this point in time. It takes a Devi Webb 1 point, Ion FPV 1 point, and Gremlin FPV is also 1 point. So 15 points is to 3 points. That's the score line right now. Pilots, let's check for your attendance out here. If anybody of you Yes, you are disconnected again. Gremlin, sorry, somebody is disconnected. Anand, you have 2 minutes to come back into the round before we start round number 7. It's 10:21 right now, 10:23. We'll be looking out for you to rejoin the server. There you go, Anand coming back. And yes, and we'll be setting these pilots up. All right, so we are good to go now. And pilots at the count of less than 5, round number 7, right in front of you. Let's tune in through a slightly different pilot out here and see the other pilots. 25 milliwatts is doing pretty well. Look at those rainbow of uh, tracing trails out there. Wonderful red and green highlights of those quads. 25 milliwatts really needs a little bit of a more control out there as a Devi Web picks up at position number 1, and Ion streamlines right behind to the left of Devi Web and picks up position number 1. But Devi Web again looks like they are competing right now amongst themselves, Devi Web and Ion. But that should be definitely putting up their whole team together in an elevated position. So Anand right now is also doing pretty well. He is at position number 2. Anand is up against Devi Web. So if Anand picks up that point against Devi Web and Gremlin picks up the point against Crude, then it's going to be 2 points towards the team BBG. But for that, Anand needs to really stay focused and a little bit slightly uh, whenever the push is needed, he really needs to push it at that appropriate time. Right now, it's about 4 gates behind Devi Web, and we trying to spot Devi Web's tail. Look at that, Devi Web right in front of him, that red tail of Devi Web, and Anand is really picking up speed out here right now. It's not more than 5 or 6 gates away, and Anand's probably only making a few blunders here and there. Debbie Webb trying to accelerate as much as he can, trying to take as much advantage as possible from Anand's mistakes. But Anand again, Debbie Webb, let's see where he is right now. He is on that Jacob's ladder, and whether he'll be refueling, that's another question. Also, he did refuel as well. That was much needed for Devi Webb and Anand right now. Let's see where Anand is. Anand's frontline view is looking good, just solid movement, good pilot, good control out here. He is at gate number 35, but unfortunately he loses out to Devi Webb, his arch rival, from the other side. So Devi Webb picks up that 1 point, and between Ion and 25 milliwatts, there looks to be some kind of competition going as well. So Ion, if he's able to finish it up, yes, he does, and Gremlin defeats Crude. So it looks like Ion has won against 25 milliwatts, and Gremlin picks up that 1 point for Team BBG. So it's 17 points is to 4 points for so TRV versus BBG right now as it stands is about 13 points of difference exactly. So 13 points of difference. That means if they, let's say if they win round number 10, that's going to be 8 points, and then 5 more points are going to be have to be done. So rounds 8 and 9 are going to be absolutely critical for team BBG. All of the pilots have to contribute for round number 8, and the rest of the 2 rounds coming after that. So pilots, let's check your status. So once again, if you are connected, you are connected. Thank you so much for staying into the server. Let's log in here for round number 8. Get going at the count of less than 5. One of the fastest pilots on the track out here, along with Gremlin, is Ion FPV. He has taken off. That's what we are tuning into, but he crashed up earlier on. And Devi Webb, he is looking so good right now. and he might be coming in. It's too early right now to absolutely know which pilot is going to really make or break it. But crude FPV is also piercing Gremlin FPV. Anand and Devi Webb now piercing 25 milliwatts and Anand out there. So slowly the spread coming into existence right now. We are following Gremlin, the leader in the front right now. He is up against crude FPV. So even if he finishes at the top, the rest of the pilots have to contribute at this point in time. But look at that, Devi Webb again setting a new standard for this track. He's really loved his track. He feels like he is absolutely in the Bahamas out here, and absolutely no pressure for Devi Webb right now. Gremlin showing us some beautiful views of that blue oceanic water body in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and Gremlin FPV again showing us a little bit of a starry dark sky out there with a little bit of a moon and just a bit of sunshine as well. Lots of combinations out there in the dynamic weathery sky as we enjoy the views that are coming in from Gremlin FPV at the moment. Gremlin FPV doing his best out here, doing the best that he can for his team, while Anand and 25 milliwatts stick around at position number 5 and 6. They have to jump along board very quickly and support Gremlin, who is battling it out right ahead at the front. Ion FPV keeps a very distant but close arm's length position behind Ion FPV, and Ion FPV has taken over Gremlin right now. Ion FPV looks like toppled over Gremlin, but that wouldn't matter as long as crude FPV remains behind Gremlin, because Gremlin's competitor is crude FPV. So Gremlin picks up that point, crude and Devi Webb. Let's see which of these other pilots pick those points. And seems to me that Devi Webb will also be coming in right now. And let's see the final positions as they close in. Right now, it's Ion FPV at position number 1. He has got that point, and so has uh, Devi Webb, but Gremlin has picked up the point. So Gremlin has been picking up the point from round number 5 and till round number 8. So it's 19 points is to 5 points, a difference of 14 points right now. And they have to really take away these points out here. Round number 9 and 10 coming up. Pilots right in front of you now at the count of less than 5. Devi Webb will be seeing how he moves around the track. A full one lap at least will be going around with Devi Webb, so that we know how the track is supposed to be done, because he has really mastered this track. But right now, at lap number 1, he is behind a few pilots out there. Look at that, Anand, 25 milliwatts, crude, and virtually at all the pilots in front of him. So let's focus our attention on Ion FPV right now, who has really looked good in this lap so far. Round number 9, lap number 1 for Ion FPV, looking superb as he completes lap number 1 into lap number 2. Coming in with Devi Webb and Gremlin right behind him. So Gremlin will be looking to score as many points out here of the next few rounds for him and his team. And Anand also trying his very best. Let's see, very close competition. Devi Webb and Gremlin. That's a good action that we are seeing here. Devi Webb behind Gremlin and Gremlin behind Ion FPV. All these 3 pilots in a top class performance on this particular track. We are absolutely enjoying Gremlin's view that's coming in, and let's see where Ion FPV now is. Ion FPV is 3 gates in front of Gremlin at the moment. He's going back into the lap number 3, the only person right now, as Gremlin joins him in lap number 3 as well. And Devi Webb at position number 3. Things haven't looked at the top for Devi Webb for round number 9, but he has positioned himself nevertheless at one of those podium positions. And Anand, you can see, we can see there's quite a bit of difference out there in terms of the track distance between him and the next competitor from TRB. TRB is sitting around recharging their quads out there. They can afford to spare a few more seconds so that they can nail it down perfectly with their quad. And lap number 3 is absolutely completed in no time, right behind Ionis Devi Webb. So it's beautifully done out here by Devi Webb. Gremlin also coming in. Anand against Devi Webb, and it's crude and 25 milliwatts. So it's pretty clear who has won this. I think it's pretty much the same exact lineup out here of the number of points scored. Gremlin also wins against Crude once again. So it's 21 is to 6, and the final round is going to be an 8-point round for round number 10. Let's get going without any further ado. Let's see who picks up this round number 10. Keep in mind, viewers, position number 1, 5 points, and position number 2 is 3 points. At the count of less than 5, here we go. The last round, guys, coming up, and we zoom in to some of the top class pilots. Davy Webb, the one who has really showed top class performance right from the start. He has won all the points for his team against Anand, and right now also leading as the vice cap at position number 1. His captain will be really proud of him as the performance that he has given so far on the track, while Gremlin tries to come back and pick up those important points that are going to be nevertheless important for team BBG moving forward. Gremlin and 25 milliwatts right now at the very front. 25 milliwatts toppled over right now. Ion FPV coming in from behind, and the FPV view of Ion looks extremely clean out here as he jumps into lap number 2. Oh, a little bit of a crashy movement out there for Ion FPV right at the finish gate, the start gate, and Devi Webb and Gremlin right now continue to uh, go behind each other. As Gremlin possesses a little bit more advantage right now, as he is much more fierce right now on this lap. And let's see if he's able to hold his squad steadily on this track. Very well done again by Gremlin FPV on that Jacob's ladder, and this is that 3-gate dragon structure that we call. And again, these are some of the other finer elements that require an absolute amount of control. So Gremlin in the final and the last lap, looks like he might be able to pick up those 5 points for team BBG, and Devi Webb at this point in time is looking good for position number 2. So we'll be following Devi Webb and see if he's able to take over that tail of Gremlin FPV right at position number 1 right now. And Ion FPV has come in, and he says, no, vice cap, I am the one who's going to take that position number 2. And gladly, Debbie Webb says that that's not a problem for me, because it's the same team right now, and it's all a team sport. But for Gremlin and Ion FPV, let's see, it's very close right now. It's Gremlin. Look at that final battle between Gremlin and Ion. Just to prove a point, Gremlin won that last round, the maximum points. And Gremlin's score was 2 minutes 24 seconds, 092 milliseconds. And Ion FPV was 297 milliseconds. So you can compute there, it's 205 milliseconds of difference, 205 milliseconds of difference between Gremlin and Ion FPV, by which Ion FPV was a little slower by 205 milliseconds. That's 1/5 of a second. So that's the score line. Gremlin has picked up those 5 points, salvaging 5 points for his team. Ion is coming in at position number two, so we'll score that 3 points for position number two for Ion. The final score line as it stands in front of you, viewers. It's 24 is to 11, and Team TRV has won the battle out here. A very, very close fought battle between TRV and PBG. Both these pilots, all these pilots of these two teams, extremely impressive. And we'll be really proud of these uh, pilots who have joined us today. So well done TRV, well done BBG. TRV qualifies now officially to meet head to head against the Hyderabad Hellraisers on the next Saturday. The next Saturday is going to be ZDR versus KKR, and the Saturday after that is going to be TRV taking on HHR. Those are
Two
the two
thick ones.
semifinals. Those are the two semifinals are lined up in front of you. Do not miss out on those because those are the biggest games that are coming in for SAH, and will be, of course, streaming in to all the three channels. Today we just had a little bit of a technical glitch, so we could only do YouTube, but the next semifinals and the finals are going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So there you go. We have what we have today. We are done from here, from our studios in Mumbai. Hope everybody out there, spectators, you had a great time. And do join us again for the rest of the matches. Do join our IDRL Discord server where a lot of the action and the scheduling and the important updates take place. If you do not know about the Discord link, please go to the events tab under the IDRL app and do download the IDRL app, register yourself as well, and check out the description of the event, of any event of SAH. You will get the Discord link and you can join in the Discord channel. It's free for all IDRL members out there. Just make sure that you mention your call sign when you join into the Discord server so that we recognize you. And also, SAH season number 4 will be following up about when SAH 3 gets over. So updates on that will be given on the Discord channel itself. So for now, we have no more from our studios. This is all we have for now for tonight. It's been a wonderful race night. Again, congratulations, a big one to TRB and a very well fought battle by BBG. And hope all of you have a great night. Sweet dreams. Have a great Sunday. Take care and alvida. Thank